Hi, welcome, welcome. I'm so glad you've joined me today. I'm Kelley Pitts, independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Lubbock, Texas. And I have createwithkelley.com. And I also have my Stampin' Up website, Stampin' Up, kelleypitts.stampinup.net. So if you need any of the supplies or products, hopefully they're listed below. If you're watching on YouTube, they are. And if you're on Facebook, you can just go over later to YouTube to the video and see the supply list if you're interested. They should be linked where it will go right to your cart on my site. So try to make it easy for you if I can. But today we are featuring the Brushed with Beauty Suite. And that is using the Petals of Beauty bundle with the dies and stamps and all that. And then I'm using the right words for the greeting. Of course, you could substitute anything you want for the sentiment. And I'm just thrilled that you're here. Hope you will make comments and let me know who you are and where you're from. And also wanted to just make sure you feel welcome, whether you're watching live on YouTube or live on Facebook, or if you are watching the replay. I'm thrilled to have you watch. Hope you'll share with your crafty friends. Okay, we did this card yesterday at our techniques class and really enjoyed it. And I intended to get everything prepped for it today so that we didn't have to do die cutting and all that. But all of a sudden the time was here and I did not have that done. So we're going to have to do it. And I don't think I have everything in here, of course, so I'm going to have to run away for a little bit and get some of the products. But we shall get going in just a moment here. I'll just switch the screen over to the card, and then I will grab the die cutter and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry for that, but I just didn't get a chance to do it all. I'm trying to decide. I have that, like I said, the blog at createwithkelley.com. And let me go ahead and switch the camera back while we're chatting and getting ready here. And I'm not sure, I just cannot seem to get to the blog. I would rather work on the YouTube channel and maybe on my Stampin' Up and put my projects there. I just don't know how many people actually go to the blog and expect, something posted there all the time. I don't know. I'm kind of doing some research. So if y'all have any input, I would love to know that. What you think, how often you go to my blog versus if you would just go to my Stampin' Up page and that kind of thing. Okay. Or how much you watch videos versus reading. What do you like the most? Do you ever need a PDF? Not tutorial, but a PDF project sheet. I do those for some classes also. Okay, let's see how we're going to fit all this up here. We are going to do, I really did kind of want to show you. Let's see, this maybe. I'm going to switch over the camera now. Here we go. Wow, that's close. Okay, you can see how well used my my little pad is here. And we are going to do quite a bit of die cutting. And I set it all up. I cut my paper so that I can cut multiples at one time. And let's see here. We're going to move that over here. Let's see what all we can get done at once. Okay. And these, like I said, are the Stampin' Cut. I'll stick that in there really close. Petals of Beauty dies. And what we're doing is cutting out the big flower. We're cutting it out in, oops, we don't need that one. That one goes here. The small one, that's for the outline. And then this is for the inside of the coral flower. Then we're also going to have, nope, not that leaf. Wrong one. Let's see what all you can see on camera. I'm not quite sure. You can't really see the green. Okay. And then I want the outside, the outline and the inside. Outline and solid, I guess, of that. And then we'll cut that out in a minute. We'll cut the other part in vanilla. This is just a beautiful set. I wasn't sure I needed another flower set. You know how we get. We have to have the newest and latest one, but these really are gorgeous. The way the dies, they're very artistic, very artsy look to them because they don't match up. The little outline die that goes on top of the solid die doesn't totally match up. So I'm going to get these out, and then we're going to change over the die cutting machine to vanilla. And you just pop these out. You don't need those inside pieces there, the inside petals. You can throw those away. But you do have to punch out the little, see if I can get where y'all can see this. I'm afraid if I move my camera too much, then it'll be hard to adjust back out, because I don't know the special secret to the, like how to zoom the phone while it's in there with the camera like this. I don't know how to do that. So we're just going to do this really quickly. Then I'll have this out of the way in a moment. Okay. The green is done. Just don't want to lose any pieces. We thought we'd lost one yesterday, a die. We just used it and then it was gone. Have y'all ever had that happen? It seems like I do quite often, especially with several people in the class. And I think I was just talking about something and totally got distracted and took my die with me to wherever I was distracted going, and then couldn't find it, of course. All right, now we're going to cut the same. We just have one of those dies. Whoops, I need one more little die. Let me get that. Get these out. Let's see where that one is. Here we go. We'll just come, whoops. I may have to have another little scrap piece of vanilla for this one. Let's see if I can get all these in one little row here. That would be awesome. Okay. Hopefully that's not too crazy for you. I know it's not ideal. I'm going to move this back so I won't knock over my camera stand. No, we'll move this out of the way. Dump this so you don't have to look at my scratched up plate. I hope Judy's not watching. She gave me some new plates to use on camera, and then I just couldn't find them at this moment, so I had to use what I had. Okay, so the regular fill-in dies are just plain Jane like that. And then you'll have the outline. And like I said, you don't need these little pieces here. But this card is fairly detailed as far as die cutting. It's not difficult, but it does have several steps. So sorry we couldn't get this done ahead of time. And we're going to be doing this again tonight. Several people missed the class yesterday for different reasons. And so I'm going to do it again tonight with some different people. So that will be fun. And hopefully I'll have time to do some of their die cutting before they arrive tonight, even though I didn't have time before I got on the air. Okay, this is I hated to cut up this pretty paper on the other side, but we really wanted the green kind of multi-textured. And I think this is called impasto painting, is what the artist from Stampin Up, they did a virtual card class on this set, and the way she did that with a palette knife and scraping the calypso coral and petal pink and white, it was just a wonderful video. It was a great class. If y'all are interested in this set, it would be worth it to sign up for that class. You'll have access, even though the live class has already happened, you'll still have access to those videos for quite some time. So if you buy the class, and you can just go to my website at the kelleypitts.stampinup.net and find that class. I was going to show you how easy it is to get the little pieces out of here. So we've got that leaf, and this one, we're going to have this flower. We're going to stamp on this one. We've got this and the outline piece, and this and the outline piece. Let's see. I moved my camera, so I'm kind of getting out of screen here. It's not where it usually is, but hopefully that will work for you. Okay, for those of you who didn't see this card when you first came on, let me move this to where y'all can kind of see that. And then we're going to go ahead and do the embossing paste. Have y'all used embossing paste? Whoever's watching would love to know if y'all have used that before. I think I'm going to try the shimmery on this one today. And I had one open that, I had opened it a long time ago and kept it in its little foil pouch and all that. And then I reconstituted it, added some water, stirred it really well. It wasn't totally hardened. See, this one is the old one. But I think just for the video, to make sure everything goes okay, I'm going to go ahead and use the one I opened already yesterday for our class. So, and then I may go back to the old one to play with later. But these come in a bag, and I would recommend keeping these in a bag once you've opened it. They're not going to last forever. One of my pastes was totally dried up. So I keep, and I don't know what that is right there on that lid. It looks like it got burned almost. But I'm keeping this styrofoam thing, and I'm putting that back in the lid. And then I've got the foil still on there, and leave all the little lip and everything. And I've got the little, you'll definitely need a silicone mat to work with on this. So, and have some water handy, or have at least wet wipes. And we're just going to go in here. And the lady who was doing the demonstration on the card class with this, which I've totally kind of changed up. I kind of started with the idea that they had, but I changed up the layout and all that quite a bit. Okay, so we just got some on the back of one of the tools. You get 3 of these in a pack, I believe, in the embossing. What do they call this? I'm not sure. Embossing, some kind of embossing tools. And you'll just put that down here. We're not going to color it. We're just going to use it as white, or it's kind of creamy colored. And when you're doing the flower, well, it doesn't really matter because this outline piece doesn't match up exactly any way you do it. So even if you accidentally flipped it, it would probably still work. But I'm trying to do it with the top side up, which you can see that that's the back because you've got a lip on there from die cutting. I don't know if you can kind of see that on the camera. Okay, so we're going to take the back of the tool, kind of pile some of this on there, and then just make some little, kind of like frosting a cake or something. Didn't need to do that, Kelly. Okay, you don't want to smush it all the same. We kind of want to go in different directions. And I'm going back to the way I was doing. I was trying to show you the way the lady on the demonstrator on the class did it. So you don't have to go all the way to the edge on these, or you can. I mean, I'm kind of going off on some and not on some. So we want it to have some texture, as you can see. So I'm kind of trying to make sure the little mounds or texture goes from different directions. Let's see if you can see that. Can you see that from here? Okay. Now we're going to do the same with the pink one. And I forgot to show you on the vanilla. This is what it looks like before we do what we're doing with the paste. And then I'll show you after this dries what we're doing, what it looks like after we put the paste on. Okay, I thought I had enough, but I need a little bit more. Hello and Merry Christmas from, is it Nani or Noni? Beachcomber. I guess you must be not from Texas, or not the part we are, because we don't have any beaches close by. But we do love to go there. We like to cruise. My husband and I do, and several of our friends do. So that makes it fun. I do have a niece who lives close to, she lives in Port Aransas, so she's got a beach there. And I love the beaches in Florida. I love Destin. That is a beautiful area. Okay, can you see we've just got mounds and texture and okay. So we're going to let this dry a bit. I'm probably going to have to use the heat tool. I'm sure I will, to get this all the way dry. But right now I'm going to immediately wipe this off. I thought I brought, hopefully I have wet wipes in here. Yes, I do. Good job, Kelly, if I do say so myself. Okay, there's our embossing paste drying on the, giving us texture on the flowers. And this one is going to look different from my original because this is the shimmer paste and the other is the original embossing paste. Okay, now we're going to play with the other pieces while this dries, or starts to dry at least. Get another wet wipe. Okay, now let's see. I should have gotten a second one of these to glue on, but I did not. Okay, we'll take our cardstock, and this is the Very Vanilla thick. I don't think we sell the thick anymore, so you could use the thin because we're doing quite a bit of layering, but you could also glue 2 pieces of the Very Vanilla together if you wanted to do that. I'm going to move this totally out of the way so that we have room to work here. Okay, and our Very Vanilla, this is the thick, like I said, but you could double up on the thin, or you could try it just with the thin if you don't have any thick left. I stocked up when I heard they were going out on it. Okay, so we have a 4 1/4 by 11 piece scored at 4 1/4 and 5 1/2. And this is just a simple little book binding fold. But I thought this paper was beautiful, and I wanted to kind of mimic the colors in the paper and kind of show that off, show a little bit of the paper, and then do my flowers out of the same colors to coordinate with it. Just make sure you use your bone folder to score this really well on all the sides. And we'll hope for the best here, that I don't get this all over and make a big mess since I didn't get my, since I'm already using my glue mat there, silicone glue mat. Okay, let's see. Do we like that piece or this piece on the front? This one has more of the green. We're going to use, oh my goodness, I don't even think I have. Okay, one more time. I'll be right back with my glue. Okay, sorry about that. When you have a class, you kind of move things that you forget you didn't have in this room anymore because you moved them for the class. Or I do. I'm quite scattered with all the Christmas stuff going on. I don't even have my tree up. I don't have decorations up. I haven't finished my Christmas cards. How about y'all? Where are y'all in the the process? Just wondering. Okay, you can use liquid glue on this. You can use stamping seal, whatever you want. Whatever makes you happy. All right, and this piece is 1 inch by 4 inches, so it fits in that 1 1/4 there. And then we're going to go ahead, and this one is really pretty on the back too, but we needed something for our background, and I thought this was pretty. So I've saved part of one piece to use. Woo, got a little overrun there on all that glue, but hopefully that'll be fun. Most of it's going to be covered anyway. So you should have an even border all the way around with this. This is a 4 inch by 4 inch piece of the Designer Series paper from the Brushed with Beauty suite. That wasn't quite lined up, it didn't seem like, so I'm going to burnish that. Okay. Now, we will, I'll go ahead and do a little stamping here. And I'm thinking this Right Words is still in the annual catalog, so it should still be current, the Right Words. And that's what we're using. We're going to use Early Espresso because we've got one flower center that's in the Early Espresso, because there are several little espresso parts in the DSP. And we're going to just stamp our little birthday, happy birthday. Oh my goodness. Kelley. I need my Stampin' Pierce mat. And I'm sure it's here and I just can't see it. Goodness gracious. Be right back. Okie dokie. Hopefully that's it. That's all I'll need today. This seems like the Christmas season has been this way. I've been doing Christmas cards since July, so I was ready for something springish, and this certainly is. All right, we're going with the happy birthday just on a little scrap piece. This is probably, that's a 1/2 inch. And I'm just going to leave room to do the little chunk with the scissors. That's pretty good. Then we'll Clean that off really quickly and use the inside sentiment. We've got happy birthday on the outside, and then to someone worth celebrating every single day on the inside. And that's going to be right in here. Let's see. Do I have any? Oh, yeah. I forgot. I'm going to lay this here before I stamp, because that's going to go on this side. And that way I can center this in the remaining area. Otherwise, your tendency is to center this in the whole area, and then you're not able to put your strip on. And we'll glue that right there, kind of even border all the way around with the another 4" by 1" strip. So it ties in with this. Isn't that pretty how that coordinates? Love that. Love it. I just love all the coordination of Stampin' Up. That's really one of the reasons I got into Stampin' Up, because everything coordinated. You didn't have to worry about if you bought a red piece of designer series paper and that it wouldn't go with your red cardstock and your red ink. They're all going to match. So love that. All right, we've got the stamping done. There wasn't a lot of that. Oh, yep, we do have a little bit more. Sorry. Little bit more. Okay, now we don't have any more espresso to do. So we're going to do, oh, yeah, we do. I take that back. We've got one of this is going to be stamped in. I can show you, for those of you watching, y'all can vote. I won't stamp this one first. We've got two different ones, two little groupings of 3 flowers. This is Darling Duckling in full strength for the whole flower. And then you've got a middle of the flower that's a separate stamp. You've actually got 2 stamps. One is the filler and one is the center. And the centers are pretty big. So I stamped it twice. I stamped the regular flower once and then stamped the middle part twice, spidery part. And this one is stamped off in Darling Duckling with the full strength Darling Duckling center. So y'all can tell me which one you like. Do you like the darker? Here's the darker on the card. Oops. Okay, there's the darker, which it pulls in the Darling Duckling from over here, and I've got Darling Duckling there. Or we can go with the lighter. That's right here. And tuck that in. That's the light. Do y'all like the lighter or the darker? Nani or Noni? Beachcomber? Let me know what you think. And then the rest of them, I am going to, they actually have a die cut that you can actually stamp with this stamp and then die cut it out. But I kind of like the look of the center just stamped directly onto this outline center. So I'm going straight down, straight up with the Darling Duckling color on both the petal pink outline and the berry vanilla outline. Then we're going to clean that off. Probably don't have to, but I'm going to clean it real quickly. And then go with the early espresso ink on the Calypso Coral piece. And if you think this espresso is too dark, then you can certainly stamp off and then do it a little bit lighter. But I kind of liked it. I kind of liked bringing that one little dark part out to match the greeting. Okay. I'll tell you what, we're just going to use, since y'all didn't have a preference, And I already have 2 of those. Guess it doesn't matter. I think I'm going to use the dark. I did try putting the peach in the middle there, and I did not like that at all. We may try one with I don't know if I want to try one with the espresso, but when you put the petal pink on top, it just turned kind of an orangey color that really didn't float my boat. So let's try a full strength Darling Duckling on. Boy, this is hard with the camera right in your face. We'll do the best we can here. So that's Darling Duckling full strength onto the die that's already been, the die cut's already done for us. Now, just to see, if we don't like it, we don't have to use it. We're going to try the little spidery looking center. I'm going to try Stamped Off Calypso Coral for that and see if that's too much or what color that turns. Like I said, I didn't like the peach. Okay, we're going to go this way to stamp. And then we're going to see how that color combo works on here. And you just kind of try to get it somewhat close to the center. And then we'll see after that dries kind of what we think, if we like it. Because it definitely lightens up as it dries. So we'll give it a minute and see what happens. Hope y'all are having a great holiday prep, getting ready for the Christmas season. I guess this is all the Christmas season, right? Let's see if we think we're going to like that with the... See, I think it's too orangey. Somehow those just don't, it doesn't stay as coral. I think I'm going to pass on that one. I think I'm just going to stick to the light on one of these and the dark on one. And I think I'm going to use an early espresso marker or blend. If I have one, maybe they don't make them that dark. Maybe not. Wonder what the bronze would look like. I'm going to try that on the other one. In the very center. See if I can make a center to those little flowers. I'm going to try it on this one since we're not going to use it. That wouldn't be bad. Let's do that. I think these need a little center. Now they're a little happier, don't you think? And that's just using the bronze blends. Okay. I think I'm going to wait and chop my happy birthday once we get a little closer to needing it. And we're going to take our card base. Nope, I don't need that yet. We're actually going to do this just on, we're going to put everything on the little piece of vellum. And that is 3.5. 3.5 by 3.5. Almost. Yeah, right at 3.5. So I'm going to, since this whole leaf doesn't show in one spot, it kind of gets covered up. I'm going to cut these bottom 2 off right here. Okay, so I've got these 4, and then I've got these 2. And then I'm going to take off this stem that's in between those, because that's not going to show. And I'm going to position it kind of over here. And you can change it around. You can kind of move it a little bit. Then we'll get our glue dots. And I'm just going to position these. And if you're doing this for the first time, I mean, I played with this for several hours, hours to figure out what I wanted to do. So it does take a little bit when you're designing this card, and each one will probably be a little bit different. Okay, will definitely be a little bit different. So I'm just using glue dots behind there. And it can hang off of the vellum a little bit because you've got a little room on your card. And if you want to make sure, you can just put it up here like that. But I'm not going to attach the vellum to the card yet because I'm going to wait until I build all of my focal point on here. And then I'll turn it over and I'll know where I can put glue on the back of the vellum and it won't show. All right, now let's see. We're going to have to, let me see if our embossing paste is even starting to dry. Not really. So I'm going to have to heat that with the little heat tool. I'm going to do that off camera real quick. See how this goes. Hopefully this won't be too loud for you. And it is curling up just a little bit. My cord just won't stretch any further than this. So I'm going on both sides. Heating the back a little, heating the front a little. So it won't warp as much. Okay, now I'm going to try. We'll go with the petal pink one. Gonna pick this up. These reverse tweezers are awesome for stuff like this. Okay. Found a way to stretch my cord a little. Ooh, it's making it puff up. Did y'all see that? This may be kind of similar to what the puff paint is made out of. Now let's see where we are on that. Oh yeah. Feels dry. Let's see if this one does. Boy, that really puffed up and crinkled, and how fun is that texture? Isn't that cool? And y'all can tell me what you think at the end of whether you like it better shimmery like this, or if you like the original paste instead. I'm going to wipe this little pad off before that hardens totally. Whew. Might be too late for that. May have to just soak it a bit. Okay, we will deal with that later. Okay, now we can start playing with auditioning our pieces. I've cut this one out of Mossy Meadow and this other little leafy part that looks like veins to me. I'm not sure if that's what Stampin' Up intended, but and it'd be a lot better to do an adhesive sheet instead of doing what I'm doing, but that's what we did today. Can't think of everything in this crazy season. Lots of prep on lots of things. And that's a little off center, but that works. Okay, that's going to be for this flower down here. Then we're going to take our solid pieces. Let's see what we did with those. Well, y'all saw me cut it out. Here it is. It was flipped over on this side. I wasn't seeing it, which would be pretty too. And we're going to attach this with a glue dot. And you can just kind of play with it and see which way you like better. But like I said, it's not going to match exactly. So just chill out. It looks cool any way you do it. It's just very artsy. Okay, I'm sticking that, attaching that with a glue dot just right in the center. That's going to go here. Then we're going to take this one, and I've got enough room probably for 2 glue dots, and I want to hold that on pretty well. So I'm going to go for that on the left. Then I'm going to move it and get another glue dot over towards the right side. We're going to make sure that will work. Okay. Now, probably would be better to wait just a little while before you attach it to that we just heat embossed, but so far that's sticking. I think the glue dots are going to stick better than the liquid glue or anything would. Okay, we're going to do the same thing that we did for the vanilla. We'll do for the petal pink. Just stick one on the left side, one on the right side. And then we'll make sure this is facing a different way. Totally different than that one. See how it's the same top, the same bottom, the same outline, the same filler, but they look a lot different just the way it's positioned on there. Neither one are right or wrong. Okay, so we're going to have that down here. Then I'm going to have this up here. And I want this one popped up. I think I want that one higher. Do I? Do I want this one on top? I kind of think I do. Then we're going to glue this flat back here. And make sure we leave room for the happy birthday without cutting off much of our flowers. So I might want to move that up a little. Just think about your greeting before you glue these down. Okay, I'm going to do this one this way. I'm going to leave that so it will go. And you can take this and flip it over like that if you want it to be the exact same angle. I usually just eyeball it, but just in case y'all haven't done that before, then you know both sides are kind of the same angle. And we're going to stick that probably right in there and then tuck this behind it. Okay, and y'all remind me to put the bow behind here first before I stick this down, okay? Help me remember that. Okay. Now, we're going to go ahead and glue this, and you can use glue dots or use a little glue on here if you want. Just going to put that kind of like that so that that's flat. We got that one on, that one on. See, glue works. It's just a little messier on the vellum. Okay, this one I'm going to attach with the glue dot to the flower first. I'll stick that underneath here, kind of to the side like that. Then I'm going to pop a couple of dimensionals behind here, and I'm double stacking this one. I want this to stick up more. Okay, so I've got that double stacked, and I think I'm just going to glue this one flat, but let it curve up. I'm just, either way, you could do either way. I don't think you're going to really be able to get this in an envelope probably anyway, but we can see. Let's try this one with one dimensional. The other one I did not do that way. And I'm not going to stick it down really hard yet because I'm not 100% sure this is exactly where I want it. So this one definitely I'm going to glue down with the glue dot flat. A couple of glue dots. And you could probably use glue. I just think these are really sticky and will hold that really well. I might even use 3. Can you see how I'm doing that? Now I've got the glue dots back there. And it doesn't matter that this is showing, no big deal. We're going to cover it with the greeting and this little thing. And anyway, so now we're going to position this. And I guess I'm going to do the same thing on this leaf part. Double stack that one. You do have to take the back off. Now I'm not sure if I like that little hole right there. Let's see if I can move that or if it's too late. Oh yeah. Now, let's see if we like, yeah, I like that better. So you just get it however you want it. Okay. So I'm mostly staying within the boundaries. I know I can go out just a little bit, but see how that gives it different depth? Because this one is on 1 dimensional, this one is on 2, this one is flat, and these are flat. Okay. Then we're going to pop this up and we're going to add the linen thread behind here. Let's go ahead and do that bow. I'm going to do a double bow, probably about that much. And you can do it, you can tie the bow with those connected and then cut the loop, or you can cut the loop first like I did. Either way, I've done it both ways. But I wanted this to have extra foofy little curly cues, so I've cut it a little bit longer because you're not going to see the whole bow part. You're just going to see, whoops, I'm going to do that again. And y'all can tie the bow however you want. I just kind of tie them like I tie my shoes. Okay, so this is really, it's a real bow, but it could be a faux bow if you're not excited about making one of those. Let's see if we like this more up or down, or I think I like it this way better. Ooh, let's do this. See what I mean? It looks different whichever way you do it. Up, down, left, right. I think that needs to go like that. Okay, I'm going to attach that. If y'all have any questions, let me know. I'm attaching this with the glue dot. To the back of the happy birthday. What? Nope, I'm attaching it to my thumb, evidently, instead. And you can mess with those loops or do whatever. Okay, we're going to pop that up. Probably going to double stack that one too. Take the backs off. And I'm going to put just one right there over that knot because that'll help secure it. But it doesn't need to be as tall as those others because it already has a knot below it. I'm going to come just a little further off the page, not much, because you got to make sure it can bend. Wish that was a little closer. Or a little more of the flower showed. Now, that's better, isn't it? Fun. I just think that gives it a really fun, festive flair with the linen thread like that. I really like that. Okay, then we're going to attach these right here. Just kind of tuck those back under there. Isn't that pretty? We'll just put a little glue dot on those two edges there so I can just tuck it under and stick it up to the birthday greeting instead of trying to stick it down. They just tuck perfectly right there. Okay. What are y'all thinking? Do you like this card? Okay. We're going to get this glued onto the card base now. We'll do it this way. And now you can take liquid glue if you want. And did I take those off? Yeah, I guess I did. Just make sure you stay behind these main things here that are covered. You don't want to add this kind of glue where you don't have something in front of it. Otherwise, it'll show from the front. You understand what I mean? So you don't want glue here or here because it will show through. Then we're going to center that in our little area we have. And those aren't connected like the others. I guess it was, and then I moved it, huh? Because I didn't like the way the other part was. Let's see. Let me see if I want to move that. Now, I like that. Okay, now we'll press it down. Now, what do y'all think about the embellishments? Do you think the embellishments should just be off out here, or do you like them as the flower centers like this one? We are going to be using the Pearls of Beauty. And these are Calypso Coral and kind of a crumb cake, kind of different taupey kind of pearlized color. And then this is white and pearlized. So I used one of each on these. But if y'all like just the centers, we could add just a little wink of Stella there. Or if you think it ought to be here, somewhere scattered, what do you think? Those of you watching, let me know what you think. Please comment and share. Trying to type in a comment to say Merry Christmas to the first one who made a comment. Okay. Anybody? What do y'all think? Let me get a little closer. Do you like the embellishments on the center of the flowers or not? And do you like so you can see how much difference there is in the plain embossing paste on the flowers versus the shimmery. And I put it a lot thicker on here too. Do y'all like the left or the right better? I'm not getting any comments, so I may just leave that one for now and not do the flower centers. We'll just do those elsewhere. Let's see what we think if we do one of these up here. Maybe that should be coral. We'll have one of these right here. That seems really bright. That seems out of place there to me. Let's see what the white does up there. The white's pretty. See, now where would I put the third one? Because you don't want to put one in a flower center, right? Doesn't seem quite right. Maybe if we switch these two. Or even one in the middle of that loop. No, then it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my. Decisions. Y'all aren't helping me very much. I think I'm going to go back with the easy way and put them in the flower centers. That's what I think. Nope, needs to be small. Okay, I'm not sure how long this video has been going. Hopefully not too long. Hopefully y'all are enjoying it and learned something new today and had fun. But I recommend the paste, the embossing paste, whether you do the shimmery white or the regular white. They are both fun to play with, and they both certainly have a place in your craft room. So I would love to help you. I will hold these up and say goodnight unless some of you have a question. Let me switch over. Okay. Thanks again for coming in and watching. I appreciate it. Hope you'll share with your friends. Let's see if we're going to open one of them up. Oops, we never did glue that in. We should glue that real quickly. So just in case you haven't done this bookbinding fold, that's all you have to do is glue that part right down like that. Easy peasy. So we'll hold this one as the front, and then, oops, y'all couldn't see me do that, could you? Okay, thanks again for tuning in. I appreciate it. If you need any of these supplies or need help with your Stampin' Up! Products, I'm happy to help. If you don't have a demonstrator already and need a catalog, let me know. I'm happy to help you. Thanks again for watching and share with your crafty friends. Sorry I got distracted a bit there and had to run off a time or two, but hopefully you learned a lot from the card. Thank you. Fun times ahead. Bye-bye.